Everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Way Through News meteorologist Brian Good here. We're looking at the fog. So far this morning, it's been a problem in many locations, especially outside the city limits. Dense fog around. This is looking at E-Town at the moment. Advisory's out officially till 9, but if this doesn't improve in the next few moments, I got a feeling they're going to be extending this dense fog advisory out to probably about 11 o'clock or so this morning, so kind of a heads up there. All right, the radar has been showing a few downpours southeast Kentucky, nothing locally, but the visible satellite is now up enough to see where we have this area of stratus and some fog across the area, and you can even see the shadows a bit of the taller cumulus clouds where they've developed into thunderstorms. The sun at the angle that it is, it casts a shadow out, so it's kind of a cool image there. We'll break through this and get back into a partly sunny, hazy sky, but not until likely after lunch, the way it looks. All right, here's a wider setup. We got one little piece of energy that is now spinning here into the Ozarks. That may try to kick up a shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon. That's a possibility. And two, where we have what we call differential heating, where the fog begins to disperse this afternoon, where you go from a really warm area that hasn't had much fog into an area that's had fog all morning. That line, that point right there, it can create sometimes its own mini boundary, and you can get a downpour that develop there. Right now, that looks to be south and east a little where that would happen this afternoon, but we can't rule that out. Otherwise, this little piece here will approach our area tonight, but it'll likely fade out as it moves into our atmosphere this evening. The main show is still up here across Montana. That is what's going to be here for the weekend. So let me show you, as I've done before, a couple of the models here. First off, this is our in-house model, the RPM. As we this afternoon, it shows, again, those little specks right there, picking up in the opportunity for what we call the differential heating of where the fog was versus the sun. So that's why we can't rule out a downpour. Otherwise, the energy from the west, you see it move in, just doesn't have a chance to make it. Saturday afternoon, it's going to be a hot and humid day, slight chance for a pop-up thunderstorm, but more importantly, look carefully now at the very top left of the image. This is where severe weather will break out rapidly as we into Saturday evening, and it looks to be fairly significant high wind threat in portions of Illinois and Missouri, and it's going to have the cold pulling again, that arcing bowl come at us. Question is, how quickly is it going to get here, how strong will it be, and how long will it last before it fades out? Good questions. I wish I had all the answers, but I don't. But we at least see a growing consensus here that as we get into the 1, 2, 3 o'clock hour, Saturday night, Sunday morning, activity should be approaching our area. Now, it is not going to be as prime here as what it will be where it was originating from. So it will have less to work with. So it should fade out, but still, it's not like we're dramatically more stable compared to areas northwest. We're just less unstable, if that makes sense. So we'll monitor that because it does fade out. And here's what's interesting. This is when the model stops, but it will fade out to the south, and then new development looks like it may form south of St. Louis Sunday morning, and that may roll up the Ohio River for heavy rain Sunday morning and midday, which would allow them for anything on Sunday, Father's Day, as far as severe weather or thunderstorms, would be southeast of that, southeast Kentucky, out of our range completely. So we'll see how this plays out, because this is going to be blocking some development here for a while, the way that's going to arc down. We'll have a lot of debris clouds around as well. So our timing could be really good here. We may be in a situation where we get the leftovers in a weakening form Saturday night, and then the activity struggles to get unstable Sunday morning, and by the time we get to the heating of the day Sunday, the front is over us to where the only thing that could be strong is going to be southeast. So we could be perfectly in a timeline here in between these two rounds. That's possible. Not a guarantee, but it has happened many times. So we'll see. Here's the NAM model. The resolution on this is not as great as RPM was, but it gives you a general idea. And that, again, on Saturday is trying to hint at a pop-up thunderstorm. Again, the grid's poor, so what could be one small downpour, it reads as a large red blob. That's not really the case in this setup here, all right? So don't panic. These are little isolated thunderstorms Saturday. Now, it picks up on the arcing of the severe weather for Saturday night, begins to bowl it out and weaken the middle portion of it. And then it sees that second little wave that rides up the Ohio River as well. Again, it's a poor grid, so it can't really see what it is, basically, as far as how widespread of a heavy rain event will be, or be a lot of thunderstorms kind of a setup here. But it looks to be late morning, midday on Sunday. That will then keep us fairly stable, because at that point, anything that develops in the heat of the afternoon will be just southeast Kentucky with that line of thunderstorms. So here's how the Storm Prediction Center sees it. They have the slight risk out in yellow to our north tomorrow, the enhanced risk across Illinois, where everything will blossom. And at the moment, they only have the marginal going down to just parts of southern Indiana. But this outlook goes to, I believe, 8 a.m. Sunday, technically. I believe it's 8 a.m. I could be wrong. So if that's the case, I have a feeling they're going to have to extend that marginal certainly more, and then likely extend the slight risk even more for Saturday, and it'd be for just a late night event. We'll see if that happens or not, but that's the way the trends are. And for Sunday, of course, it picks up pretty good, I think, on the idea that it's going to be mainly an Eastern Kentucky event, because we may have too much going on here late Saturday night, Sunday morning to really get into the severe zone for Sunday. Just stay tuned, close to the forecast. We'll keep you updated as we trend here. Now, next week, we're still seeing this pattern that does not want to shake, where we get this troughiness in the Ohio Valley. We got a ridge going on here in the Rockies and Southwest, very hot in the Southwest. So this is going to allow multiple fronts to keep moving in. This is going to keep the heat at least tamer next week. We may get close to 90 a couple days, but I don't see no low to mid 90s. More 80s than 90s, really, because we're going to have a chance for some rain every few days with this kind of a setup. Now, the Euro, this is the Euro. Now, the GFS and the Euro, both as we head toward the end of the month, the 4th of July, it is trying to knock down the ridge here and build a trough into the northern Rockies, which would then allow the ridge to kind of become a little more flat, but stretch its legs out into our area and heat us up toward that holiday weekend. It's a long way off. We'll see if that happens or not, but there's a lot to monitor just this weekend alone, so stay tuned.